tempo is really important when it comes to programming because it tells us how fast or slow a movement is performed, if there's pauses or not. This is critical. A lot of people do movements like this way too fast and don't see the results they want to see in strength or hypertrophy, and are maybe hurting their joints over time. So tempo is really important. Let's talk about how to utilize and read tempo. When we write and read tempo, there's 4 numbers that help us understand the movement. The first number always is the eccentric phase, which simply means the lowering phase of the movement. So lowering down in your back squat, lowering down in your chin up, that's the first part of the movement. Then there may or may not be a pause before you perform part number 3, which is the actual concentric phase, or what we think of as pulling yourself up in the chin up, pushing yourself up in the squat. We call that your concentric phase. And then there may or may not be another pause before you restart the second rep, third rep, fourth rep. Let's use a squat as an example at a tempo of 2-0-x1. That means we're going to lower for 2 seconds. 1, 2, no pause, explode up, and then we're gonna pause for 1 second before repeating. Okay, so let me do that again. Down for 2 seconds, no pause, explode up, 1 second pause before repeating. Now look at the tempo 2-1-x1. There's a pause, a 1 second pause after the 2 second lower. So 1, 2, 1 second pause, explode up, and then a 1 second pause before repeating. So the third digit or number is the concentric phase, the X right now that I gave as 2 examples, which means perform explosively or forcefully. So it's written as an X, explode. But that is not always written as an X. And what you'll actually see a lot of times in the program is it's a 1 or a 2, because sometimes we want a controlled press. We don't want an explosive press. So just make sure that you are aware that that third digit, whether it's an X or a 1 or 2, can change. It's important to know that we always start the tempo with the eccentric phase written, even if the movement starts at the concentric phase, okay? So let me give you an example with a chin-up or a strict press. So in the chin-up, I don't start at the lowering phase, I start at the concentric, the X or whatever that number might be. I grab my bar, I pull myself up, and now I eccentrically lower for, say, 3 seconds. So if my tempo for my chin-up is 3-0-x1, 3-0-x1, okay? I'm gonna perform the X first, 1 second pause, and now 3, 2, 1, 0 second pause before returning back up on the bar. If tempo is really just a lot to take in right now, feels like rocket science, here is the one principle you need to take away from it, which is generally, we always want to control the movement on the way down and then be a little bit more forceful on the way up with any movement.